What is up, guys? Archon tonight, I'm bringing you guys another YouTube video. In today's video, I quickly want to glance over the state of play that happened today, and then I'm going to go over the two games that I was most excited for out of the state of play. So the rumors were pretty much debunked. It wasn't as glamorous as what the rumors that we went over on the other video said they would be. I don't know if this was Sony trying to get back at them, or if this was always the plan going in. I can't imagine this was Sony trying to, get back at the leaks. I'd have to imagine this was always the plan going in, and they wanted to show that they were going to keep supporting the PS4, so even if you can't get a PS5 right away, you're still going to be able to play some of the newer games on the 4 as well. And I think that's because of what happened with the PS3 going into the PS4 era, but that was mostly due to the fact that the PS3 was made with Sony's, special graphics card and technology or whatever, special chip, and it was a lot harder to develop for. So, PS4 people, if you don't plan on getting a PS5 right away, no hurry, you're still going to have some support. You're probably going to have a lot more support than you did with the PS3 going into the PS4. But with that out of the way, let's go ahead and take a quick look at some of the games that I'm most excited for. So Crash 4 kicked off the event. As you guys know, I'm pretty excited about this game. I think it's the biggest game left for me to get out of the calendar year. Obviously, I'm going to get a PS5 and probably get Godfall, but this is probably the biggest game that I'm most excited for. So with that out of the way, let's go ahead and take a quick look at some of the things that they showcased at the event for Crash Bandicoot. So interdimensional time warp there.
Hey everyone, I'm Lou Studdard, producer at Toys for Bob, and I'm here to talk to you about Crash Bandicoot 4, It's About Time. Crash 4 is a direct sequel to Crash Bandicoot Warped. The devious villains, Neo Cortex and Dr. Entropy, have finally escaped their interdimensional prison, leaving an evil scientist-sized hole in the universe.
That's awesome. We're getting a direct sequel to Warped.
Simply conquering this dimension, but all dimensions.
So I'm guessing that makes all the games that take place after non-canon.
Crash Bandicoot 4 It's About Time is the first totally new game in the Crash Bandicoot series in over a decade. So for us at Toys for Bob, we felt that it was important to reintroduce longtime fans, as well as new players, to this amazing franchise.
Fair enough.
First, we made sure to incorporate the classic tense, precise, and perspective-shifting platforming that we all fell in love with. And then, we wanted to introduce exciting new elements that we can't wait to show you today.
I mean, the platforming looks spot on for a Crash Bandicoot game.
This is where Crash's adventure first started, and where we pick things up again in Crash 4. But there have definitely been changes since we first saw
Insanity Beach
all those years ago. And throughout Crash 4, you'll see those changes to our gameplay and even our art style.
Still got some classic enemies.
Take inspiration from not just the original games, but the animated cartoons that inspired those original games, all while also delivering bigger, more awe-inspiring dimensions to explore. I
wonder if this is on the PS4 or the PS5 version, because I didn't know there's two versions.
New character models and lots of expressive
Aku looks a little weird,
but all of that also comes new additions to the platforming, like having the ability to wall run, rope swing, rail grind, and zip line as well.
So basically they're adding like Donkey Kong Country style elements to the game.
There were certain moments in the game where Crash would change outfits. Think Crash wearing a biker jacket when riding a motorcycle. That seemed like a natural area for us to expand upon. So we have loaded the game with tons of awesome skins that you can earn and wear throughout the game.
It's pretty cool.
These skins are totally cosmetic and a fun way to express yourself while playing the game. And just to be clear, there's no MTX here. Skins are earned.
So that's huge. That means that they're not microtransactions.
Within levels. Crash 4 also introduces the Quantum Masks.
I believe he said that you earn them through challenges and gems, so I'm fine with that. It'll be cool to play through the game with different costumes and different looks. These are the new masks. So Ika. That was the slow mask that we seen. So I wonder how this works. I wonder if you control it.
But that's gonna have to wait for another day. What we can
tell
you today,
wow.
though, is that Crash isn't the only character you get to take control of during this adventure. For starters,
so we're gonna get to see another trailer for Crash Bandicoot.
Any level that you can play as Crash, you can also play as Coco. It was also very important for us that she take a more prominent role in the story this time as well. But that's not all.
So they're making the game playable with both Crash and Coco, so it's not just a Crash adventure.
Here you can see that you'll be taking control of Neo Cortex. He's all about using his blaster to change an enemy in his path.
So it looks like Cortex has the ability of all masks as well. Just in his blaster. Oh wow, you get to play as Dingodile.
You get to play as Dingodile in Crash 4.
I don't know who requested to play as Dingodile, but I'm sure there were some people out there.
He hung up his old flamethrower rocket launcher combo.
I wonder what his story is.
From a life of villainy and open a diner.
So there's his diner being blown up.
For us, his adventure begins by witnessing the destruction of said beloved diner and getting sucked into another dimension.
Poor Dingodile, he can't catch a break.
Finally, there's one more surprise I'm incredibly excited to show you today. The Crash Bandicoot series has always been about finding new and exciting ways to play through the game. In the past, it's been about taking on time trials or discovering all the hidden secrets.
So this is going to be the most interesting thing.
Bring something brand new to the table. So we teamed up with our friends at Beanox to create a brand new style of play for Crash 4 that we call inverted mode. It's our souped up, bumpa-berry fueled take.
Oh wow, the boxes were shooting flames.
Not only our perspective shifted, but now each of the dimensions are rendered in a new and unique art style that really changes the look and feel of the experience. One dimension could be asking you to traverse through a neon wasteland, while another tasks players with spinning paint all over the environment to see their path forward. We've even got one that feels like an old-timey movie with the overcranked.
The spinning paint one didn't really seem like you needed the paint to see which way to go. Everything looked like it was still like white, but you could see the gaps.
With a totally new and dynamic look and feel.
Oh god, platforming in an aqua environment. That sounds great.
A reason to revisit
oh yeah, you slow fall and everything.
To see what new and exciting experiences in store for them.
I mean, they're giving you so much replayability with this game. Not only are they giving you free skins, challenges to complete, you know, time trials, all the classic stuff, they're also giving you a new mode that you can platform through. So I'm pretty excited for the whole thing. So the big takeaways I got are that they are trying to make the game have a long lifespan in the form of challenges for costumes. You're still going to be able to get them through gems as well. And the big takeaway is that there's no microtransactions here. That's absolutely amazing. It's Activision, and I'm worried that they're going to eventually slip them in. But to start out with, no microtransactions, always a plus on any game. You're also going to be able to play the game as Crash or Coco. I'm hoping that there are some story differences between the two. There's probably not going to be, and it's probably just going to be the same static cutscenes, and it's going to be more of just, you know, do you want to play Crash or do you want to play Coco to complete all the stages? There probably won't be a difference in story, unfortunately. Would be cool. And the third is that with more replayability, they're also giving you inverted mode. So you have more reason to keep coming back to the game. You know, if you beat it initially and you're like, oh man, well, I'm bored, I don't want to, you know, go back through, I'm not bored, but I don't want to go back through and play the game right away, I want to give it some time. There's always going to be something different for you. I think they could even extend this if they wanted to with DLC updates, where they could even monthly like change how the inverted mode works on certain stages. I know that would be a little bit more advanced, and I'm not sure how they're embedding all of these inverted stages. If they are, you know, like hard embedded to where they can't just change how out the filter for each of the stages, or you know what I mean. I don't know, there's a lot of potential here, and there's going to be a lot of replayability, and I'm excited to see a single-player game that I'm not going to burn through at 8 hours and just be done with it. That's kind of been the trend lately. Even Final Fantasy VII Remake really wasn't all that long in terms of content. I mean, you only played up to Midgar, and I even managed to platinum the game in like 50 hours, so there's not really a whole lot of replayability there either, unfortunately. Yeah, you get to keep all your items and your weapons, and hard mode was a thing, but hard mode really wasn't that bad. Whereas Crash, you're at least going to get a different mode that changes how you play the game and the feel of the game, and you're also going to be able to play as either protagonist. You're also going to be able to play as Cortex and Dingodile as well. Not really sure like who was like, yo, let's all play as Dingodile, and everybody's like, yeah, Dingodile, let's go Dingodile. Where's Koala Kong? Where's all these other Crash Bandicoot icons? I know Engine's a boss, you wouldn't be able to play as Engine, but where's Tiny? Is Tiny going to be a boss? Actually, I think Tiny is a boss, so never mind on that one. But what about Koala Kong? You know? Where's the mouse? Give him some love. But anyways, that's my opinion on Crash. Let's go ahead and get into the second game, which is Godfall. So same thing for Crash. We're going to listen in and we're going to kind of give our thoughts on what they say for the overview.
Hello, my name is Keith Lee, and I am the game director for Godfall. On behalf of Counterplay Games, we are very excited to share gameplay with you today and to offer you a glimpse into the mystical world of Godfall.
So initially I thought
Today,
this was
you'll be seeing
Gearbox,
extensive
but it's published by
gameplay
Gearbox.
captured on a PlayStation 5 development kit. Please keep in mind that the game is still a work in progress, and some things may change from the final product as we continue to learn and harness the power of Sony's.
It looks like it's running at 60 frames pretty well.
Please enjoy. So let's jump right into what Godfall is. Godfall is a looter slasher that features intense action, satisfying moment-to-moment combat, and robust loot progression systems. You can enjoy the game at your own pace, playing alone, or through online co-op with up to 2 additional teammates. Godfall is set in a brand new...
So it is nice to see that they're, you know, going into a different genre. The looter shooter has been done to death. I'm not sure how a looter slasher is going to play, but it seems like it'd be more entertaining than, you know, just aiming for the head on things. And being able to, you know, team up with 2 other people sounds really nice as well.
Is a complete package. All loot and gear in the game are acquired or unlocked through gameplay. There are no microtransactions.
This
No
is
waiting for
huge.
Content. It's all in the game on day 1.
That's amazing.
As
So
you
just like
adventure,
Crash,
you get to tear
there's no
through enemies,
microtransactions here, no
challenge a
weapons,
mad
no
god who
levels
awaits
or
you
anything like
at the
that.
top.
It's all right here when you
You
purchase
play
it.
Valorian Knight, a godlike warrior.
I wonder how much
able to
replayability there's going to be. If it's going to be like Borderlands where you're going to have like all these difficulties. That's
transform
probably
you
how they're
into
going to,
an
you know, keep the game
unstoppable
going,
master
since it
of
is a
melee
single,
combat.
slightly multiplayer
Throughout
game,
your
I guess
journey,
you could say.
you'll find
It's more
ancient
story driven than
elements
it is
lost in
multiplayer
time,
driven.
each with their own characteristics and long history. Now let's talk about
So you're gonna have
gameplay
different suits of
in
armor.
Godfall. First, our team wanted to do something different. We wanted to combine action RPG loot progression with third-person melee combat to create what we think is a looter slasher.
I mean, you don't
Our
typically
game
hear
is
the term, you
therefore
normally hear
one
looter
part
shooters, so
gear-driven and
it is
one
something
part
different.
player skill-driven. In other words, not only do we want you to find exquisite weapons with powerful loot traits, but we also want you to have that feeling of accomplishment from mastering the wide set of combat mechanics available to you in Godfall.
That's good.
From a
There's a
combat
bunch of different things you can
philosophy
do.
perspective,
So the
melee
game doesn't get
combat in
stale.
Godfall is intended to be fluid, dynamic, and interactive, embracing offense over defense. More often than not, you'll be facing multiple enemies at the same time. As a result, you should always be moving and closing the gap on enemies. Also, you dominate the combat space, not the enemies, and the game rewards you for being aggressive.
So basically, it's not
Now
Dark
that you're
Souls.
familiar with the combat
Essentially,
philosophy,
you're rewarded for
let's dig
actually
into the
playing
weapons
offensively instead of
themselves.
dodge rolling around looking for an opening.
In Godfall, there are 5 weapon classes.
You're rewarded
The
for
longsword,
going in.
the dual blades, the polearm, the two-handed warhammer, and the two-handed greatsword. Each weapon class has their own unique movesets and play styles.
Looks like you get a
ranging
shield,
from
too.
Fast combos to more strategic, deliberate play. As you defeat enemies in your adventures, you will acquire numerous weapons. For each
You could
weapon
throw your shield
category,
and bounce
each
it back
weapon
too.
with
It's
their
pretty
own
awesome.
primary and secondary traits. At a later date, we will delve into the weapon classes and how to
So there
modify
is
them
going to be,
for
like,
greater
Crash kind
detail.
of mentioned
For
it
now,
about, you know,
we'll
seeing
go
the
over
other
dual
mask, and
blades
now
and
Godfall's talking
longsword
about having
weapon
the
classes.
other, you know, traits in
The
that.
dual blades
So there will
are the
be one more
fastest weapon
Sony
class
conference
in
between
Godfall,
now and the PS5
embodying
launching.
Speed, fluidity,
That is
and
good to know.
mobility.
They're pretty much confirming it at
Dual
this
blades
point.
are exceptional against soft, unarmored targets or single targets.
So your weapon is going to
You
be
can
based
perform a
on the
combo
situation at
by
hand.
executing
There might be a little lag in
consecutive
the video,
light
guys. I
attacks.
did have some issues recording at this
Dual
point because I was
blades
also
heavy
streaming it.
attack is a spinning blade cyclone. The blade cyclone can also be used as a finisher at the end of your light attack combo. So what are the signature moves for the dual blades? As you build up charge, you can also
So basically,
activate
it's got a
Premium
fighting
Focus,
game
which
combo
is unique
system,
to
or
the
Killer
dual
Instinct
blades,
fighting
which
system, I guess, is the best way to
inflicts
describe it.
damage in a short period of time. There's also
Just becomes
Mortal
super
Core,
powerful.
where you can throw your blade into an enemy, pulling the enemy towards you, like pulling a cable.
It'd be funny if there was a scorpion skin inside the
Now
game
let's
somehow.
switch to the longsword weapon class. Longswords
Just for
are
that pull.
balanced weapons, embodying crisp damage and simple cooldowns without needing a lot of elaborate combo setups. Similar to dual blades, longswords.
Oh, so
can
abilities
earn
are actually gonna go on
light
cooldown.
attack combo. Then there's
You can't really see it
heavy
on the
attack
HUD here.
finisher, which can be used at the end of your light attack combo.
Just like
There
with the
are
dual
3
blades.
signature moves for the longsword class. There's Spectral Flurry, which cannot be interrupted and deals high damage to multiple nearby targets. Then
So
there's
does it just make you
Spiral
immune then?
Which eviscerates all enemies in a straight fixed path. Notice there's a white flash after a longsword swing called a timing attack. If you press the shield button exactly at the same time, you'll perform a devastating shield uppercut with your longsword.
Oh wow.
The shield is a core part of Godfall. It's available
That's how
to
you
you
defend.
throughout the entire game. You can always block incoming attacks with your shield. If you press the
So
shield
even if you're
button
using a
at the
two-hander,
right
you can
time,
still use the
you can
shield, it
also
looks like.
parry an attack. You can perform a light attack after a last-second shield block to counterattack with a powerful shield strike. The shield is great not just for defense, but also offense.
So you're
You can
rewarded
blink
for both
and
offense
throw
and
your shield,
defense. It's
which
not
will
just
hit
offensive
multiple
based.
nearby targets. If you tap the shield button just as you catch your shield, you can perform a powerful wave attack. You can double tap the shield button to petrify enemies.
The only thing I'm worried about is if
You
you're
can
playing with friends who are
perform
far
a
away and you end
powerful
up with like
ground
high ping or
finisher on
something, it'll
enemies
kind of
that
throw a
will
lot of
knock
this
down
off.
to the ground.
But all in all, from what I've seen here, Godfall looks pretty good. Looks like they're going to showcase a boss fight maybe? But all in all, the game seems pretty good. You've got like all these different mechanics that you have to learn and master. Every weapon feels different. There's cooldowns, so you can't just spam abilities. I think I'm gonna have a lot more fun with this than I do like a game like Borderlands or Destiny. I don't know, like it just gets repetitive with Borderlands and Destiny, and not to say this game won't, but there will be different play styles you can do, whereas with Destiny and Borderlands, you're kind of just locked into aiming for the head or whatever to try to get that critical damage and do as much damage as possible. Whereas with this, it just seems like there's more options for you to try. And I apologize guys if the video is like glitching out at all again. It was recording and I had some problems with recording and streaming at the same time. I didn't notice it till the end. So hopefully it isn't locking up on your guys' end. But anyway, it just seems like there's a lot more that you can do. And honestly, I'm pretty pumped for the game. I can't wait for it to come out. I'm definitely getting a PS5, and this will probably be my first purchase. If cross-buy and Crash Bandicoot isn't a thing, maybe Crash will be my first game, but I'm sure it's going to be cross-buy. So, pretty excited for it, pretty pumped. What do you guys think of Godfall? What do you guys think of Crash Bandicoot? Are you excited for both of those games? Got a Medusa kind of slithering around there. But anyway, let me know down below. What do you guys think of the state of play as a whole? Did you think it was lackluster? I mean, it is pretty much confirmed at this point with both Godfall and Crash and how they were talking that we are going to get another conference here soon, or another state of play here soon. But with that, guys, like he said, thank you. Please like the video if you guys enjoyed it. It helps me know what you guys like. It helps me with the algorithm. And I will see you guys on the next video. Later.